Well, in an exclusive interview, attorney Joe DiGenova, a member of the president's legal team examining election irregularities, says the amount of election fraud and deception in Pennsylvania is truly staggering. OAN America's John Hines has more.
Sir, I know that you are on the president's legal team looking into some of these irregularities surrounding the election. What are your goals or your objectives? How do you measure success in this endeavor, sir?
Well, we have to get to the Supreme Court, or we have to get state legislatures to declare the results in their states unacceptable, illegal, violations of the United States Constitution as well as state law, and we're doing that on all fronts. There are going to be hearings today in Pennsylvania at Gettysburg, where Mr. Giuliani will be presenting a number of witnesses and affidavits to the Pennsylvania legislature. There will be hearings in Arizona, and there will be hearings in Wisconsin next week. So the bottom line is this: we are fighting on all fronts in the courts and in the state legislatures, seeking the remedies that we believe the president is entitled to under the United States Constitution.
As these certification deadlines come up and these vote tallies get certified, does that alter the arc of what you're attempting to accomplish, sir?
Well, it certainly makes it more difficult. However, since we are alleging constitutional violations of equal protection and due process, as well as violations of the Constitution, where the Secretary of State in Pennsylvania and the governor ordered things to be done that were in violation of state law, and thus they violated the U.S. Constitution, which reposes authority on federal elections only in the legislature, not in the governor, not in the attorney general, not in the Secretary of State, in the legislature. That's why today Mr. Giuliani and all of our witnesses are testifying before the legislature. So the certification is a fact, but it can be set aside on constitutional violations, and that's why we're in court, and that's why we're in the legislature today. So in Pennsylvania, we have both on display today: litigation in federal court and hearings in the legislature to try and get the legislature to act on its own, not to accept the electors that are going to be certified.
And the basis for that would be the legislature, working with the legislature. The argument there would be what, sir?
We are presenting to them today all of the constitutional violations. For example, in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, our Republican observers were systematically excluded from observing the counting of the mail-in, mail-out, and absentee ballots. They weren't allowed to look at the envelopes, the date stamps, the signatures. So since they could not see and were not allowed it, and indeed were prohibited from entering the space, which they are allowed to do under Pennsylvania law, we claim that is a violation of equal protection and due process because the rules were different in various counties. They weren't all the same. Under the Constitution, the rules have to be the same in every jurisdiction. That's what Bush v. Gore is all about. You can't count ballots one way in Dade County, and you can't count them another way in Pinellas County. So we're arguing that today in front of the legislature, and we're basically the same arguments we're making in federal court. We'll have witnesses today in Pennsylvania who will say that signatures were substituted, names of voters were substituted, people who were dead were substituted. They took the names off the registries of people who had not voted, so that when those people went in to vote, they were told, you can't vote, you've already voted. So the amount of fraud and deception that went on in Pennsylvania is truly staggering.
And you guys will be presenting some proof of that in due course, apparently.
That is correct. There will be live witnesses today, along with, I think we're going to have at least 10 witnesses who will be representing about 400 or 500 affiants.
Joe DiGenova, you've been very generous talking to us on OAN America News, and I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, you and your law partner and wife, Victoria Tunsing. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for talking to us on OAN America News, sir.
And the same to you and everyone at OANN.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.